Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the Community Pod, and I am your host, Lester Class. Each and every episode is going to be filled with amazing stories from amazing people. You will hear the different journeys people went through, or are still going through, to be able to do what they love. From the failures to the successes and everything in between. This is a place to get to know the person behind their passion, because people only get to see the successes and not what it took to get there. If this is your first time tuning in, please subscribe and leave a review if you love the content. Now finally, I would love to welcome you to the Community Pod. What's going on, everyone? This is the Community Pod. Welcome back to another episode. Thank you for tuning in. It means a lot to me. I got an amazing guest in the building. I got Amy. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, would you be able to tell the people before we go on, what is it that you do?
So I am a Latin R&B artist and actor.
Okay. So how long have you been, well, first let's do with acting. How long have you been acting?
I got introduced to musical theater, which was acting, dancing, and singing at the age of 6.
Okay.
So I've been doing them since I was 6, all of them together.
And music as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you off camera, but which one do you enjoy more?
So I feel like acting is forever, like I mentioned before. Right now there's a strike going on, so there's not really anything going on but you going to class and staying, productive. Music is definitely my priority right now because I feel like it's therapeutic and like everything that I do that happens to me personally, like I just dive deeper in the music. Okay. So it's like my everyday thing for sure.
Where is it that you found your passion? Where do you feel like you found your passion for singing as well as acting?
I think it stemmed from me being like a young girl, like just watching like Selena on TV, J-Lo, Alicia Keys, like just watching these women on TV doing their thing. I feel like it just like inspired the heck out of me to like why can't I do that? Like how can I do that? Like what was their process? Like I was just so intrigued. So I'm like, I want to do that. Like how do I do that? And then my dad was like really, really like into music growing up. So he would like show me the latest songs on the radio, and like he sings too. My dad sings.
Okay. And then just to like tap into your dad doing music, what does it feel like being able to come from a creative background?
It's different. He knew he had a gift, but he never really tapped into it. So for me to tap into it and really keep it going, it like shows him like, wow, like she really like believes in herself. She has faith, and he almost feels like just super happy for me that I like did something that he wanted to do, but he couldn't. So.
And do you feel like what does the process of being an artist look like, at least for you?
Damn, that's a hard question to ask. In the music aspect, like just me writing music, I come from a very personal place. So just like heartbreak or me feeling down about the music industry, how hard it is, or like me wanting love but not really like getting it, or just like how I feel about myself. So I tap into those different things and I just write. Like I don't write music just to like intend to like make a song. I feel like I just write my thoughts out. And then I'll like turn on like a beat or something that somebody sent me, and I'll just like put it together. Like it's really weird. I'm not really into like the having so many people at the studio. Sometimes I write a song on the guitar, like one of my friends plays guitar, and I'll meet up with him and he'll like play guitar for me, and I write a song like that. Or like be on the train and like something just hits me like on the train, or like I just jot it down and I'll like add to it. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. That's like the aspect of music.
All right. And then so you mentioned early on that you've been doing music since you were young. And I always find that interesting, because I feel like pursuing something when you were young and then going to school, like do you ever feel like when you told people this is what I'm doing that you felt judged by others?
Oh yeah, like are you kidding me? Like I feel like also people don't think this is an actual career. Especially when you have somebody in your life, directly in your life, trying to do it. I feel like people see somebody on TV like, oh my God, like they're amazing. And I'm like, you could imagine what they went through to even get on that stage.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably not even where they want to be, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like people did judge me. There was times where I like didn't want to do music anymore because I got so much negative, thrown at me.
Mm-hmm.
And you start like getting discouraged because things are not happening the way that you want them to happen or at the time you want them to happen. So yeah, like there was times where I was just like, man, I'm done with this. Like, let me just go to school. I was trying to be a cop, like just that was so super outrageous. I feel like I don't even have that in me. Mm-hmm. Who am I kidding, But because people just was like coming at me all types of ways about music, I felt like I had no other choice.
And when you were getting those negative comments and the negativity thrown at you, how do you feel like you were able to get through it?
I feel like it took me time to heal. I started journaling a lot, like just about like how I felt. Also journaling in third person almost, like I received everything that I wanted. I did a lot of Reiki healing. I started getting closer to God. Started like saying affirmations in the morning, listening to podcasts, like motivational podcasts, and just really praying every day and just having more faith.
What do you think it's important for people to heal?
Yes.
Why?
I was a person that I used to go through things and just throw them to the corner and just wait till they pile up and just be like, all right, I'll deal with it. That only makes you more empty and more empty and more empty. And it's like, how can I fill my cup if I don't have anything to fill my cup with? Mm-hmm. So you have to heal. You have to go to therapy. Therapy is important. I tell everybody that. I'm like, therapy is important. It doesn't have to be literal therapy, but find something that gives you therapy, that makes you, feel that way.
So what is it that, do you feel like music in a way is therapeutic to you?
Yes. Music literally knows everything, knows all my secrets. If you're in the studio with me and I'm writing a song, the song is literally about something. Like, I go through a lot and I don't hold back. So, I used to just talk about like relationships. Mm-hmm. But then I think it got deeper than that. Once I started healing more, it was just like about like just the intricate, like knowing that I deserve more than I'm given. Mm-hmm. And why do I let people try to manipulate me almost? Okay. So I just started to dig deep into that. Like, why am I settling? Mm-hmm. Even in the music industry, like there's a song that I have out called Remember that I pour my heart out because this shit's hard, and people don't realize how hard it is. Like, the money don't come until like, mm-hmm. you're a huge artist and stuff like that. So you have to keep investing and investing and investing and investing. And then like sometimes you have to choose what to do. Like sometimes you gotta like choose to eat or to invest in your music. Mm-hmm. It's hard.
Okay.
So yeah. There's
something that I wanted to touch into where it was basically, what do you feel like it is that makes an artist?
I feel like, number one, you telling your story mm-hmm. through the music, being very vulnerable. Number one, like you have to be vulnerable. If you're not vulnerable, how can people connect with you? There's so much that you can like pretend to be before somebody catches on. Mm-hmm. So if you're like very vulnerable and you share your story and you're bringing somebody into your world and like they can relate to that, that's number one. Like, finding your sound is number two, which direction you want to go to. So me, it's Spanglish. Okay. I'm Dominican, so I used to do standard R&B, which I still love to do, but I wanted to spice it up. I wanted to bring light to my heritage because it's important to me and my family. And I wanted my cousins in DR to be like listening to stuff mm-hmm. and like jamming because they're like being like, oh girl, I like the song, but I can't understand what you're saying. So I was just like, let me just make something that's super cool, they can understand, and I could like literally tap into any genre that I want to through Latin R&B. Okay. So, but that took me a long time. Like it took me a long time to just like, I feel like doing the work, because if you don't do the work, you're never gonna really tap into like who you really are, like exactly. Unlock different things. 3, your team.
Okay.
You have to have a team, a machine behind you, because you can't do this by yourself. Beyonce can't be Beyonce without 14 people behind her. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a real thing. So trusting someone for your, like, in your career is important. I feel like if you don't trust the people that you have behind you, like, it's just not going to work. You have to work hard, and they have to work even harder. Like, everybody has to be aligned. Everyone has to know the vision. Everyone has to know what we're going to do, like, every single day. Like, there has to be a super agenda. And yeah, everyone has to, like, have the same exact vision. Everyone has to, like, literally unlock each other to make this superstar.
All right. And the one thing I did want to ask was, you mentioned that when you make songs, you're very vulnerable in it.
Yeah.
And you also meant that you go through a lot on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Are you okay with getting into that?
Yeah, of course.
So what do you mean by that you go through a lot?
So at this moment in time, I feel like I'm a bit emotionally unavailable.
Okay.
Because I've been through, like, domestic violence. I've been through, dealing with someone who was cheating on me physically, mentally, and emotionally abusing me. So once you go through that, you, like, don't want to open up to anybody. So I've had a lot of people come into my life that were showing me who I am, and I didn't like want that because I didn't think I deserved it, because someone else told me that in the past told me that I didn't. So it's just hard to, like, sometimes unlock that part of me, because I'm afraid to get hurt, obviously. Like, I think we all are sometimes. So being alone and, like, really focusing on my career has allowed me to just not take part in that, and it has me a lot in the emotionally unavailable spectrum, which I don't like. So just, like, speaking on that, I live in Elizabeth still. So, I don't want to live in Elizabeth, but the team that I have, they're in New Jersey. So I'm real drastic. Like, if I didn't have the team I had out here, I would be in LA. But because I don't have that in LA, I can't just, I'm still in the starting ground. So I got to stay out here. But I don't want to be out here. I want to, the world is so big, and I've lived here all my life. So I want to explore the world. So that's kind of like something that I go through too. Like, just like, I know that I could leave, but I have to stay because my music's out here. And New York is, like, right there too. So New York is, like, where everyone's dream come true. Everyone comes out here to, make it happen.
Exactly.
And also, like, just, like, different circumstances, like, discouragement, because I want it so bad and it's not happening when I want it. So just, like, keeping the faith. And yeah, so just all that an artist goes through, I feel like it's important to, like, shed light on. And when you do you do open up to somebody and they, like, make you, like, kind of upset, or everything just becomes, like, super jaded, it's like, damn, I should have just been closed off with you like I was with everybody else. So just all those emotions in life.
How long do you think it took you to finally open back up to people?
Oh man, a long time. I think I was going on dates, and I was like, I left a date and I was like, why am I even here? I'm not ready for this, And I'm not a person to string people along. I feel like that's not right. I don't do that. I wouldn't want nobody doing that to me, so I don't want to do that to somebody. So I'll like, let them know, like, hey, like, I appreciate this, but, like, it's just, it's not gonna work out for me. Like, I have to stay. Like, my biggest excuse is my career, but it's literally, like, I feel like everything else is a distraction, and if I'm not focused on that, then I'm never gonna get to where I want to be.
No, and I understand that, because the big thing that I feel like people don't appreciate enough is time.
Yeah.
And for I believe in the same thing, to just have someone, like, basically clinging onto you while you're walking forward, and just being dragged along. You don't want to waste their time, and I don't want to waste mine either, because the way that I see life is that as much as we want to succeed, we also need to take time to appreciate ourselves, appreciate the people that love us, appreciate the time that we can spend with them, because no one is a promise to tomorrow. and we have to cherish everyone for what we have and what we're doing now. And I think that like I said, time is everything. Time is one thing you cannot buy.
Yeah.
And we definitely need to take time, because I the one time that I don't think we take is time to ourselves.
Yeah, we gotta be a little selfish. I feel like I've neglected like family, friends a lot this past year, but I've accomplished a lot. So, I don't want to waste time. Like you said, time is of essence.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could be in the studio working on what I got to work on, or a photo shoot, or an interview, or a music video, or a cover art shoot, or a meeting, or, networking, I'll take that before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate to say, but you have to do it.
Yeah, and it sucks sometimes when, like, it's not, and I wish, I hope, like, families end up watching this, where it's just, like, we don't mean to hurt you guys. We don't mean to, make you feel like we don't care.
Right.
We 100% do, but it's to a point where I don't want to be broke. I don't want to not live the life that I picture myself living. And,
it's like a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So
like once we're on that other side,
mm-hmm.
I promise you will see me more.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like if you're around the same people all the time, it's just like an ending cycle. It's gonna be the same thing over and over and over again. And then what? Oh, I was just with my family,
mm-hmm.
chilling, all that. Like, So that's something that I feel like people have noticed. I don't think I went to one birthday dinner this year. Like, my friends or my families, like, I didn't even have anything out here. Like, what I had was out in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for 3 weeks. And I had, like, a small thing. I have, like, some friends that I haven't seen in a long time. And they just celebrated me, which I appreciate. But I wasn't going to do anything. I'm on a different, like, my headspace. I feel like I'm changing. So it's a good thing, though.
No, yeah. I think change is very important. I
Yes.
think that, like you said, the ending cycle of, waking up, going to work, and then, maybe going out with your friends every single week, and there's no growth. And, sometimes, what I don't want to say is that the people that are doing that you genuinely are enjoying life, and that's what you see. That is perfect. That's fine. Everyone's future, everyone's life is very different.
Mm-hmm.
But if you feel like you're in a cycle, and if that's where it changes. Where if you don't feel like you're in a cycle, then you're living life. You're doing fine. But if you feel like you wake up and you're in a cycle every day, then you obviously want change. And the only way that can change is if you take the steps to change.
Yeah. And
everyone around you in the beginning will think that you're changing on them, but in reality, you're just trying to better yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then eventually, when things come around and you're getting opportunities that you were never presented, you are posting yourself in places that you never thought you'd be at, these friends are starting to understand that this wasn't the life that you wanted for yourself this entire...
You gotta separate yourself a little bit, I feel like even when I go out, I have a reggaeton song out, Tú Me Llevas.
Okay.
And I go out so that I could talk to the DJ, introduce myself, and have him play my song.
Mm-hmm.
And add my song to his Serato. That's why I be going out. Like, if you see me out here, like, I'm talking to the DJ, like, all the DJs at night. Like, I'm hitting everybody. I pulled up on Camilo the other day. Like, I was like, hey, this is my song. I want you to play it. Let me know if you like it. He played it. Showed me mad love. Had me up there. Like, I'm outside, but I'm working. Mm-hmm. And then once that happens, I introduce myself, take their Instagram. It's very important. Make sure that they know who you are. And then have my little drinky drink and be on my way.
And then you basically you were networking. You go out to network.
Yeah, so, like if I'm out, if somebody sees me outside, it's usually because somebody's playing my song. But they don't know that I'm coming. I just pull up. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to be aggressive sometimes. Like, closed mouths do not get fed.
And why do you say that?
Because it's the truth. In the music industry, you gotta be aggressive. You gotta like call in favors. You gotta like talk that talk. Because if you don't even know, like, if you're talking to somebody, like, you ask them something, they're like, oh, wow, like, this is super dope. Like, they even want to be a part of it. But if you would have never told them, how would they know that you have that going on?
Exactly.
So I feel like just networking and talking to people and taking people's numbers, Instagrams, and, like, staying in communication, building relationships that we touched on before is very important.
Yeah.
Because you don't never know when you got to make that little phone call, and that might unlock everything you got, that you need to, like, continue on your journey.
Well, what I do want to say, or at least I want to ask, is you mentioned that, you've gone through domestic violence and, getting out of a situation like that. I can only imagine how difficult that is.
Yeah.
And you now are very vibrant. You're very energetic about what you're saying. You're very, of course, and you stand on everything that you're talking about. Where, closed mouths don't get fed, or I'm out there trying to do everything I possibly can to make this work. Did you ever think that when you got out of the situation that you'd be where you are right now? No.
I was doing music before that. But I feel like when I'm in love, I lose myself. And I don't want that to happen again. Like, I want you to have your own thing going on, and I have my own thing going on, and we come together. And, like, it's super positive, super healthy. Like, that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. If it's not like that, then you're not for me. So when I was going through that, I was very in love, but I don't think it was love. I think it was just, like, obsession, lust, and all that negative stuff.
Yeah.
But I had dropped my first song, and I actually was on Daredevil. I was on New Amsterdam. Like, it was, like, a really good time in my life, career-wise, but personal life was not it. And I feel like I stopped doing music. I stopped doing acting at the high level because I was just so focused on who I was with. And eventually ended up, with domestic violence. And that was it for me. That was hard. I had to go to therapy. I was, like, clinically depressed. It was a really tough time. It was like mourning someone that passed away, but he was still alive. And it took me a little while for people to even call me beautiful. Like, for me to hear that, like, I wanted to throw up. Me to think about, like, love or, like, intimacy. It took me a little while, for real. Like, I was literally, like, not having it until I got into a car accident. And I tore my meniscus. I ended up waking up. Like, I just woke up to a disaster. But it shook something in me and woke me up. Like, I was like, I'm never, ever, ever gonna, like, live my life the way that I did before. Like, I'm gonna work super hard, and I'm done with that. Like, that negative stuff. Like, I can't do it. So that car accident really woke me up.
And
like,
I just think that, like, a lot of people don't realize that how often or like how real domestic violence can get.
Oh yeah, no.
And it sucks, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
It's okay.
I also know that like that you were able to get through something like that and be as strong as you are now.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm saying that it's an amazing feeling or you should feel amazing, but it's just to see you back at it, doing everything that you're doing is a beautiful thing, and it makes it would make anybody really happy to just see you doing everything that you said you're going to do.
Yeah, my younger self is definitely proud. I didn't know that I would continue music after that, but it was like my way of expressing myself. Like, it was my therapy, I called my producer at the time, and I was like, I need to just, like, this, so I got, like, just, like, let everything go, like, on that mic and just give it my all. And I did a lot. Like, I released a couple songs, and people were like, wow, like, this is crazy that you went through this. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's just life. And I learned my lesson, and I won't ever put myself in that position again. I'll see the signs, like, there's signs that you see before that happens to you, and you sometimes, because you're in love, you, like, disregard that. But I feel like when you're in that position and you see the signs early on, like, just leave. There's nothing to change that. Like, unless that person wants to change and go to therapy with you, you guys go to couple therapy together, there's just like no way that that's gonna work out.
Because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a, it's not that they turn domestic, or they get that they all of a sudden become violent. They've always been that way. They just haven't been able to express it or feel.
Or they see it when they were younger. They saw it when they were younger.
Yeah.
So they think that that's okay.
Exactly.
That's it. You know, that was the situation that, you know, that I went through, you know, and I was just like, okay. First it started like throwing stuff or like throwing me off the bed, and then it just became like even super extreme. But yeah, no, that's unfixable. Like, that's unforgivable. So yeah.
And what advice would you give to an individual that may be going through a hard time?
I would say go to church. Find a church that you align with. I'm going to use that word loosely. My church that I go to we worship for 45 minutes. I need that worship. You know, like, the worship is very important to me. And then we'll break down the Bible for an hour. So essentially, I go to church for 2 hours every Sunday. So seek God. And your relationship with God has nothing to do with somebody else's relationship with God. That's number one. Like, I always tell people that. That's very important for me. Like, my relationship with God, you may not understand. But your relationship with God, I may not understand. But that's okay. That's your life, and this is my life. You know? Journaling. Oh, journaling helped me so much. Just releasing my thoughts. Tapping into, like, astrology. Knowing yourself. Knowing what you don't want. Knowing what you won't tolerate. Knowing what you know you need. Knowing what you want. Like, really knowing who you are is very important. And just sticking through it. Like, just being delusional sometimes helps. Like, if you know you want to do something in life and it's not happening, act like it already is happening. So just change that mindset. That's very important. So if you're going through a hard time, the mindset, it's a mindset. So just change it, switch it. Even if, like, you don't understand, like, you're like going through the worst and you don't know how you're gonna get out of it, just switch the mindset. Like, I know I'm gonna get out of this because this, and this, you know? Just speaking that into existence, like the law of affirmation, the law of attraction, like, that is very important. So just change that mindset.
Okay. And you mentioned before this, I would like to get into, you said that you were on Daredevil.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was super cool. That was actually the first big show that I was on. New Amsterdam ended up coming out before that. But yeah, it was my first booking. And it was for Marvel. And no, I'm not even lying to y'all. The February before that, March, I was like, I'm going to do a vision board. It was my first time doing it. And I'm just literally jotting down, like, everything. Like, I printed out all, like, the pictures. I put Marvel on there. I put CBS. I put NBC. I put, like, all the radio stations. I put the Ritz Theater in Elizabeth that I, like, hope to sell out one day. And I just put it on my wall. And I was doing my thing. And I went in. That's when we were still going into the audition room. I went to New York City. I had an audition. I went in. I had to sign an NDA. So I was like, okay, this is weird. This is my first time signing an NDA, but okay, whatever. The script was really short. And I memorized it probably like in a couple hours. I went in there. I did my thing. It was my first time at this office. 5 days later, I get a call from my agent. Hey, no, actually, before that same day, I went to Brooklyn to audition for something else with a friend of mine. And he's like, what did you audition for? And I was like, I don't know. Like, it was saying, like, R3. That's what it said, like, R3 on the script. He was like, R3. So he called our other friend, and he was like, what did you audition for? And I was like, R3. He was like, which Daredevil show on Netflix is upcoming season 3? Like, season 3. And I was like, I don't know. He was like, oh, my God, you just auditioned for Daredevil. And I was like, no way. He was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Well, when my agent called me, she told me, she's like, you auditioned for Daredevil, and they have you on hold. So when a bunch of people audition, they'll like pick their like little few that they really like,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will line it up and they will like keep pushing it. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
like just they'll have like your picture on a bulletin board and watch your tape over and over again to see like if everything matches, because
Mm-hmm.
the scene that I was in, I was playing a younger version of somebody,
Okay.
so it had to match, like, you know, the aesthetic of the person that I was matching, the younger version. So yeah, 5 days later after that, she's like, you got it, and you're gonna be on there for 2 days. And I was like, I cried so much. Like, yo, you know how many auditions I did before that? Like 1,000. Like, that's probably my 1,001 audition that I did. And I got it. And it was for Marvel. And I was super proud of myself to be a part of, like, such a huge franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that was that. It was a great 2 days on set. I did a fitting. Actually, 2 fittings. And, yeah, it was great. I got to meet Daredevil himself.
Nice.
He was really nice. And a bunch of other characters as well. And I still follow the 2 girls that I did the show with. And yeah, we stay in communication.
Nice. The reason I heard when you said Daredevil,
Mm-hmm.
I have a Marvel encyclopedia right there. I'm very big on Marvel.
Yeah, I see it. Wow.
I think, well, to be like you said, it's a big franchise, and to get an opportunity like that, what did it like in detail? What do you feel like it felt like to finally get, what people call it, a break?
Oh, it felt super great. Kind of like felt like I was like dreaming. 'Cause it was in Brooklyn where they were shooting. There was like the stages. So I got a huge room. Like, you know, I got there, had my own PA. And yeah, like, it's super cool, super chill. Like, they come in, they like, you sign your contract, they give you like the sheet for the day with your script and everything, so you know what time you're going on, you know what scenes they're doing first. But you're like chilling most of the day. And then I think the first day I went there, like, I was chilling, and then I got, you know, my makeup done, my hair done, and then they were like, oh, it's lunchtime, and I'm like, I didn't even work yet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super chill. And then you do like your first looks where you're like meet up with the director and you guys discuss. And the first scene that I did is a scene where Daredevil's mom, she is going through postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
And she's essentially a nun. Like, she was supposed to be converting into a nun. So we go in there, and I tell the director, I'm like, the room is very sad. So I don't really got to, like, do too much because the room already makes me feel super sad.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she was dope, the director on that show, on that episode. But, yeah, everything was cool. You're really pretty much chilling until you got to go on set
Mm-hmm.
and do your thing.
And then, well, the thing I was gonna ask was, when it, like, I feel like in order to do something like that or get an opportunity like that, you have to be resilient. You have to,
Oh, yeah.
like, not give up. So the reason I'm saying all this is because I want to know if there's any advice that you would give to an not even just an upcoming actor, but an upcoming anybody trying to do something and pursue something they love doing. What advice would you give?
I would say do not take no for an answer. Knock on those doors that are not open. Knock on those doors. And be sure of yourself. Like, even if you're not, put that act on. You know, fake it till you make it. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you?
Mm-hmm.
So just do not take no. Like, yeah, no, no, no. And then you get that one yes, and it was Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it kind of, like, makes you become a little patient and hopeful that, like, because you're waiting so long for something, it's going to be better than you imagined.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And then I think it's amazing because the way that I look at opportunities like this or little moments is you get a glimpse of what the possibilities can be.
Yes.
Where you're sitting in a room,
Yes.
you got a PA, you are, you know, you're seeing what
You give them your phone,
Mm-hmm.
like, and, like, those people want to be directors. Like, you need to really, like, stay in contact with those people, because those people could be your upcoming director on a film soon, like, you know. So like being nice to everybody on set, being super cool, super nice, super respectful. These are human beings, you know what I'm saying? So just like knowing that, man, it's very important. Like you want people to work with you again, or want to work with you again. So
okay, well, what do you feel like is it that keeps you motivated?
I feel like the gym. If I start my day with the gym, oh man, I feel like I'm on 1,000. Shout out to my trainer, Brandon. But yeah, no, like I have to start my day on a positive note. Because if not, then I feel unmotivated.
Okay. So
if I start my day with the gym, hearing affirmations, a podcast, it gets me going.
Okay.
You know, journaling. But yeah, I feel like you have to find something outside of what you do to add to that. That's important.
Well, you know, for you to have gone through all the things that you've gone through in life, do you feel like that everything happens for a reason, and God gives you, you know, I don't get too much into God. I'm a believer myself.
Okay.
But do you feel like he gives you, or the world may give you things that you're only ready for?
Yeah. I feel like God gives his you know, his really bad battles to his strongest soldiers, like, and it's how you think about it though. Like what happens to you, like sometimes you can't think about it in such a negative way. Sometimes it's just like, all right, well, I should have known better, or this is supposed to happen because something else down the line was supposed to happen, probably far worse, and because I know how to react to this situation, I'll take care of that one in such a better manner, you know? So it's just about like taking things in the way that they happen to you. Like don't think about it all the time as like a bad thing. You know, break it down and be like, all right, what did I learn here? Why did this happen? Why is this happening? You know, and be like, okay. And honestly, sometimes you got to look at yourself too. You're going to be like, all right, so why is this always happening to me? What am I doing? Like, because sometimes it's you know? But if you're not willing to, like, look in the mirror sometimes, then I don't know what to tell you. You have a problem there, because, like, if I know that I need help, I'm going to go get that help. If I know that I need to, like, work on some things, I'm going to work on those things. But you have to recognize that you have to work on those things, because if you don't, then you're going to be in the same cycle. So it starts with that, like breaking down the problem, being like, wow, if I would have just reacted differently, this would have been so different. The outcome would have been so different. And sometimes when somebody comes at you, you don't have to come at them the same way. You could just be calm about it and be like, all right, well, let me just relax, because I'm trying to change. Like, just like taking a second to think always helps me. Like, I'd be like, all right, well, I was going to react this other way, and that would have ended up really bad. But because I took a second to think about it, and I really thought about what I was going to say, we're fine now, you know? Because I feel like it takes two to tango, so, you know?
Yeah. And I just feel like sometimes, like you said, there's people out here that live off of negativity.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of people are becoming that way, like Instagram comments, or like everybody has something to say all the time.
Oh, yeah.
About you, whether it's your appearance, whether that's the way that you act, the way that you speak, the way that you are, the way that anything. Everybody has something to comment about, but we aren't flawless. Like, we aren't perfect. And if someone's giving you that energy, I promise you that you feeding into it only makes them happier. You don't have to bring the negativity towards them, because that's what they were looking for.
There was a time where I dropped a song about something personal, and I took the song down, obviously. And I did a video of a scenario, and it was like a Twitter, you know, it's Twitter chaos. I feel like people coming at me, adding me for this, and I didn't respond, because now you just gave my video views. You listened to my song, so I appreciate you. And not all negative, you know, vibrations is bad. Like you viewed thought about it negatively, but you viewed it. You gave me a view, and you gave me a listen, a stream. So thank you.
Well,
I don't respond to things like that anymore.
And why is it that you took the video down, if you don't mind me asking?
So the direction of Latin R&B that I'm going into, it just doesn't match the aesthetic of it. So I was just like, I just took it down this year. So I released this 2020.
Okay.
So I just dropped it. I took it off my YouTube probably like 3 months ago.
And what was it that people were upset about?
So it was the scenario of the domestic violence that I was telling you about. The why it happened. Yeah. And I guess the female that the story was about. Like, it was my story, but the female that so basically, I caught my ex-boyfriend with another woman. Okay. So I reenacted that scenario. Yeah. Okay. And I put it out. So when I guess she saw it, she got really upset, and she was like, "Oh, like, you know, on Twitter and Instagram about it," and it got me a lot of views, and people were adding me and stuff, and I didn't respond. Yeah. I always think about it like this: like, one day my publicist is gonna have to like look at this stuff and be like, "Oh man, like." You know, can you just erase everything from your Twitter? Can you just like, let's just like, you know, Twitter's easy now. You just type in a word and you're like, all right, I shouldn't be saying this, so I'll just take it down. But yeah, like, I just always think about that. Like, I think of myself, even if I'm not at that high level, I'm always thinking of myself at that high level. So I don't respond to negativity. I feel like I'm here on this earth to, you know, broadcast positivity. So my positivity is me releasing a video of a song that inspired me, and me being really freaking creative and creating something and hoping that I connect with somebody. Exactly. So that's when I released that was on me. That was my therapy. It wasn't for that. But if that's what's coming towards me, I'm not going to respond to it. Exactly. Because I did something positive here.
You also mentioned that you always picture yourself at the top. That you know, the publicist, the idea of selling out shows, the idea of being on all these very big franchises as an actor. Why do you feel like it's important for people to do that?
I think it's important because you're affirming your life. You know, it's what I feel inside. You know, if I don't, there's some days where I wake up that I'm like kind of battling that, because I'm like, oh, like I'm kind of like, it's like playing delusional. But if you wake up and you have that mindset that you are exactly where you want to be, even if it's not where you are, man, that's power. That's strength. That's resilience. That's I don't know, like, that's magic to me, because you're going to be so prepared when you get to that moment that nothing will tear you down. Nothing.
Okay, so we are at the end of the pod.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
really?
So, yes, That's crazy. It goes by really quickly. I always say when I
thought we just started like 20 minutes ago.
Like I always say in the beginning, before I even turn the cameras on, is that the podcast does go pretty quickly.
Yeah, you did say that.
So I will be going into my ending questions.
Okay.
The first one is, what is it that wakes you up every morning, maybe even keeps you up at night, to do what you're doing?
My dog.
Your dog?
Nala.
Why?
So I'm a dog mom.
Okay.
Like, I am the dog mom. I don't have any kids.
Okay.
So she just like gives me that motherly thing that, you know, I don't want from a child, obviously, because I'm not ready for that. But it allows me to like kind of have a sense of responsibility. Like, if I, you know, keep going, I can give her a better life. Like, you know, just having that mindset of that my family, you know, my parents work very hard, so just wanting to give them a better life. My friends that help me on my journey. I have a lot of boss women in my life, so just like helping them like be in position that they deserve to be in. Like, one of my friends, she's my creative director. She styles me. She helps me in my shows, like when I need to be like in the back, like takes my pictures, does all my cover arts. Like, if I am this big artist, you know, soon, you know, she's gonna be working for me. Like, you know, I'm gonna be, you know, she's gonna be with me every day. My best friend who does my makeup every day with me. You know, my friends who have lash lines or hair lines or swimsuit lines, like, I'm the biggest artist in the world. You know, I'm helping my friends out. Like, so I just always carry that in my mind. Like, you know, I'm the exception. And it's okay for me to go through everything that I've gone through, because this is beyond me.
And the story is only beginning.
Yes.
Okay. The other question I have for you.
Yes.
What is the message that you would give to your future self?
Oh, man. I knew you would get there. I just didn't know when. Look at me. I'm about to cry. But I'm so proud of you for sticking it through and, you know, just being resilient and not taking no for an answer, and just even in defeat, like, you were running, you know. You weren't jogging, you were running. So, and I hope that you're happy and you have a family of your own. And I hope that you've made your family and friends proud as well. And you have this huge fan base and they love you too.
Last but not least,
yes.
Amy, what do you want the world to know about you?
I want the world to know that... Oh, man, that's hard. Oh, man.
It's a deep question.
It is. Jeez. Damn, what do I want the world to know about me? I want the world to know that I'm here to stay, and I'm just getting started.
Okay. Well, this is the end of the podcast, Amy.
Yes.
This is now your opportunity. The camera's now yours. If there's anything you got going on, anything at all, this is your opportunity.
Hi, guys. I have new music coming out soon, and I hope you guys could be a part of my journey. So stay tuned.
Okay. Well, Amy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Of course. I couldn't do this without you.
Yes.
I'm honored to be able to sit next to people like yourself who tell their stories, and I'm only happy that I'm able to give you the platform to do that.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So I'm going to do my outro.
Yes.
Okay. So this is Community Pod. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Put on post notifications so you never miss a future episode. Like, comment your favorite parts. Audio platforms, please leave a review. It allows other people to find my platform, and I also like reading your comments. As long as they're 5 stars. If there's anything underneath that, then I will not be reading them. I'm just kidding. I'll read all of them. Other than that, the people that have been watching all my episodes, or just a few, or just getting tuned in, thank you so much for being here. You're the reason I do this. And yeah, new people, welcome to the Community Pod. And we're out. Peace.
Peace out.